is a college student. Around your age, in fact. She's your average girl, gets decent grades, has aspirations for her life, and has a good group of friends. But poor Sally is lonely. None of the guys in her town are genuine or even the least bit gentlemanly. With seemingly no other alternative, Sally turned to online dating. She went online and found a website called truelove.com and set up an account. Her matches were immediately retrieved, and her eyes landed immediately on this profile picture of sweet man 89. Sally's decision to turn online for looking for love is becoming an increasingly popular alternative to the normal interactions of everyday life. According to D-Couch and Pilion Putong in their article, Online Dating and Mating, Perceptions of Risk and Health Among Online Users, in the September 2007 issue of Health, Risk and Society, British research indicates that the internet is the third most popular method of finding a date, and that 1 in 3 internet users consider using the internet to meet a potential partner. Being in college, the dating scene is a big deal. With a greater awareness of the online dating scene, you'll decide if you should give it a go or just say no. In order for you all to gain such an awareness, today I will inform you about online dating. First, we're going to discuss its history and what exactly online dating is. Second, we'll flirt around with the pros of online dating, or what I chose to call the lovey-dovey side. And lastly, I'll lay bare the cons of online dating and expose the not-so-handsome facet of finding love online. First, let's begin with a little background on online dating itself. What exactly is it? And how did it get started? Well, according to A. King in his article, Browsing for Love in All the Wrong Places, in commercial internet matchmaking, users complete a personality profile that is used to supposedly maximize the chances of compatibility. Lonely hearts, or people who are just bored, can go online, create a profile for a small fee, get matched up with their potential soulmate, or even just find a casual date. Whatever the case may be, you can go far beyond the local grocery store or bar to find that significant other. Some popular sites, according to datingsites.org, include perfectmatch.com, as made popular by the movie Must Love Dogs, the ever-commercialized eHarmony.com, adultfriendfinder.com, and lovealife.com for those who just want a casual date. And then, of course, there's Match.com for the older crowd seeking lifelong partnerships. Now, the service of aiding singles in finding a future spouse using means other than those thought of as normal or face-to-face actually begins soon after the invention of the modern newspaper. In an article called The History of Online Dating on brains.org, they said that according to the first matrimonial service was born in 1700. Now, they've said that the matrimonial services from that century were just the beginning of the pairing of technology and dating. Of course, there have been a lot of changes from 1700 up until now. With newspaper articles and personal ads would lend themselves to the use of the telephone for communicating and setting up meetings. When the VHS came out, so spawned the video dating era. And of course, with the internet, dating services went online. And now, most recently added to the arsenal of online dating media, is your DNA. According to Esma Grain in her article, Online Dating and Genetics, in the July 2009 issue of Time magazine, for $99 you can order a kit, swab your cheek, mail it to Switzerland, get your gene partner ID. Websites like genepartner.com and sense2love.com are now beginning to pop up. Their claim to compatibility? Research on human leukocyte antigens, or HLAs, which according to Grain play an important role in human immune function. And they also may help to screen out potential mating partners to whom they might be too closely related. With this gene partner ID, you can be matched based on the compatibility of your HLAs. Whether HLAs are determined in finding that spark, well, only $99 in a swab of the cheek will tell. Now that I've given you some background on the concept of online dating, let's flirt around with its pros, or as I said, the lovey-dovey side. Some people might think it's near impossible to find whether or not your Prince Charming is real or not. Is StubMuffin524 that 6'3" Abercrombie fiction model he claims to be? Well, to solve this issue, sites such as LemonDate.com and TrueDigger.com offer consumer protection. According to Jay Kaplan in his article Date.com is So 2004 in the July 2005 issue of Time magazine. These sites post reviews of potential dating candidates by people who actually went on a date with them. So you'll know if you're going to meet an overweight World of Warcraft fan or the eligible bachelor you see in the picture. Another helpful group of sites are those that cater to specific types of people and their interests. Kaplan also stated that there are a growing number of super specialized single sites. Republicans, smokers, non-smokers, bikers, even people with STDs can go on sites and get matched up with people who share the same passions as they do. In a study done by Jay Gibbs, N. Olson, and R. Haino, called Self-Presentation in Online Personals, they find that there is a positive effect of anticipated future face-to-face interaction on online self-disclosure. Or basically, the thought of meeting somebody new has a good effect on a person. According to H. Lawson in The Dynamics of Online Dating, internet daters seek companionship, comfort after a life crisis, control, freedom from commitment and stereotypic roles, adventure, and romantic fantasy, all of which online dating offers to people who fall into such categories. As you've seen, there really are quite a few things that are positive about online. But now let's take a look at the not so nice aspects, the negative side. One issue that many people would deem as highly negative is, as A. King put it, the fact that internet matchmaking completely takes the distinct progressive steps out of synchrony and may reduce the likelihood that a meaningful relationship will arise at all. In normal face-to-face interactions, you take natural steps to become intimate with a person. But with online dating, that aspect is completely removed because all information is gleaned solely from written text in a picture that may or may not even be real. The reality is that when it comes to posting your profile online, you've got to be honest. A lot of people would see that as negative. Why? Well, let's take this guy for example. Putting an honest picture of Quasimodo online probably wouldn't produce many hits. So a lot of the Quasimodos out there would instead put a picture of Prince Charming. This deceptively flattering photo would produce the profile hits and the resulting dates. But as V. Jamieson quite bluntly put it in his article, The Dating Game, in New Scientist magazine, once the real you shows up, your disappointed date will judge you as dishonest, and you're unlikely to reach first base. With that stated, online users also have to face the reality that they can be easily deceived by other users, as quoted from V. King. It's not difficult to Google hot woman and copy and paste me the numerous photos that pop up on your Match.com profile. It's also not too hard to come up with a suave personal statement describing your fun personality, kind demeanor, and innate ability to get along with the guys. But online dating can be a difficult game, because the only way to find out if the Prince Charming is real or not is to actually go on a date and find out. But once you get there, disappointment is not too uncommon. Not only is dishonesty from users common, but the watching the facts can be used by the commercial dating sites themselves as well. As A. King argued that eHarmony's claim to fame is their scientific findings that married couples who met on their site are happier than those who met by other means. Finding out if those statistics are true or not is just another obstacle that online daters face. As you can see, there's a lot more to online dating than first meets the eye. From DNA compatibility to completely false profiles, online dating can be either a life-altering good thing or a big disappointment and an abruptly ended date. We saw how online dating found its roots in 1700 matrimonial services and progressed to the technologically advanced status it's at today. We also looked at the positive aspects of online dating, even ending marriage, and we also looked at the negative aspects and discovered the reality that looks can be deceiving. Remember Sally? Well, she ended up sending Sweet Man 89 a virtual wink to indicate that she was quite interested. He replied back with a smile and a simple hello. Over the next few weeks, they sent messages back and forth every day, talking about themselves and their interests, and discovering that they had quite a bit in common. And Sally and Brad, as she eventually discovered his name was, finally set up a day to meet about a month later at a local pizza joint. When the day arrived, Sally walked in and looked over to the corner that Brad said he'd be in, only to find, well, I'll let you decide. Was Brad really the sweet gentleman who coincidentally loved swimming and reading just as much as Sally did? Or was he really Quasimodo in disguise who just wanted to get some for once? It's really up to you whether you want to enter or delete on the online dating icon in your life.